So a price you can pay. It's like being abducted with employers who are into faith-based religion, Freemasonry, due to their secrecy. You kind of don't know you're getting fucked over till immediately beforehand. But because of how they interpreted Doppelhers, they thought, well, you've got it coming. There's not the concept of the Antichrist evolved much since its biblical mention. It's Marilyn Manson evolved it even further than what Friedrich Nietzsche would write about, and it's truly more decent in terms of opposition to the crucifix. It's not Ku Klux Klan symbolism burning up crosses, nor is it disrespectful to Jesus. If you can step back and see a lot of police brutality and authoritarian brutality occurs because this man's murder is taken so far for granted. It's equivalent. You grow your hair with my appearance. I grow my hair long, and I just see. You see the attitude they're thinking of you in sacrificial to them tense. So I do it so I know who I want to distance myself from. I do it because I think of myself in any way to be fulfilling that filthy religion. I'm in agreement with Sam Harris that it's the most divisive form of ideology that we have ever invented in the history of mankind. So my inclination in identifying Christianity, I am a general detractor and opponent of all forms of theism, be that Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Freemasonry, whatever. But my experience with Capital Chemist was that when they said they'd do a police check, all they did was go online and read the newspaper article of the attack to my parents when I was 5. And I'm not mentioned in that article, so once again, in a feat of faith-based presumptuousness, they assumed I was there, and the question that seemed to be on their mind was things like, did I enjoy it? An inbred idea of theirs, or would I claim to hate it while secretly liking it? So what happened in 2010, unbeknownst to me, I did not realize that because they actually deceive police. So when they tell you at the start that they're doing a police check on you, you think that they actually are, when really they do what amounted, I realized later, a presumptuousness, a misinterpretation of the newspaper article that, as with the full cost price on their prescription labels, now I can't find the article on online. If they claim to have removed it in consideration or sensitivity of me, it's too late for that. Why it'll be is that because what I realized was going through their heads was 2010, I'm living in Downer in a house of my own, and I enjoyed the space and was singing a lot of heavy metal music. And so in their minds, none of them having psych degrees and none of them been allowed to make these sorts of judgments of someone outside of this shop and not working. It was they went, well, if he aggresses while in this house on his own, it's a proof that he enjoyed witnessing his father stab his mother. Which is so then I learned from that that was what their police check was just them reading this article. So I was singing, which is a disciplined and controlled form of artistic expression. B, I was not present as I wished to be growing up. My stepfather prevented. To my mind, my stepfather ultimately saved both of my parents' lives. And I was very shy, and it took about 4 years before I was calling him father. He was a true gentleman. So, these men are grave robbers, capital canvas. Can you see all the logic? There's probably more holes in their logic there than they could pin Dick successfully. So yeah, that I'll be their enemy for the rest of my life is obviously a given. And that once again, religion comes about to destroy him and attack my family. Round and round we go. So they had wanted to make a profile stipulating that artists, because I'm very distrustful of men, misanthropy. But artists I grew up with, I consider to have been. It's a very great, like it's a bit like with homeschooling. People who are homeschooled take a certain excitement to education because there's no intimidation from the additional company of a classroom, and you study at your own pace, on your own, think in your own terms. But while I do credit my maturity to these gentlemen, like I said, the world's best artists. And it's quite telling. It says a lot, I think, about society here. If my best friends are 3 artists that I pretty much just know from TV, and they're trying to say that the video and the artistic content acted on my sensitive mind in such a way as to make it a dangerous one. But then making that claim, not having withdrawn it, not having approached or informed me of its withdrawal, and the beginnings of lawsuits and what have you, which they're trying to make sure it doesn't happen. And then, been detained, the police watch house. You're in a cell with a camera in the corner of the ceiling, pointing at you at your toilet, so you could piss, because then you can put your back to the camera, but I wasn't going to shit in front of them. I wasn't there to arouse them. I haven't grown my hair to arouse them. As I said, I've grown my hair to watch the ones who are into human sacrifice cults discriminate against me. So it's like it's a Holmesian elimination process, trimming the fat. But yeah, the Freemasons are cowards to run. They're cowards to take what would have been resolvable differences between me and them by the way of mere conversation. Yeah, I can just think. I can almost do the thinking for them. If you're this discriminated, why grow your hair long? Um, why do you want to hold me or suggest I'm a dangerous person? Uh, when you eat a suicide murder, rapey murder as a biscuit on Sunday, in the hopes that one day you might be so specialized to be nominated to sit down and to tea and scones and crumpets with the queen of incest. Um, you must please keep me out of this. I will not put up with it. Uh, the owners of Capital Chemists will do what they will to try and keep you at authorities, police, naive and ignorant about my childhood bind in the hopes that you can be instruments of further antagonism. Freedom of information is just permitting you to look into my history. Uh, you know, the AFP robbed my grave at age 5 um, because of you. I never got to know my own father. So, how patronizing you want to give your piggers want to give me a fucking Bible. Oh, did we rob you of your relationship with your father? Why don't you read about a heavenly one? He's into genocide, rape, infanticide, um, killing non-virgin women on their wedding nights and dumping their dead bodies on their father's doorstep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's serve and protect. That's why we fisted those koalas for you as a kid. Yeah, you must leave me out of this shit. Uh, Start touching my ass and dick and balls. Um, much as that interests you, you're the fucker with a gun. If my mind's that impressionable and corruptible by uh, rock rock musicians and artists who have more integrity than you are even capable of imagining, why keep me in the impressionable company of either the barrage of other arrested people, or you and your gun and holster and the people that you've shot in your impunity and your fucking will to kill, uh, physically disabling pain, and you still have these magic supernatural fucking views. Truly cannot wait to move out of this country because you're inclined to be sexist over apples. You've manifested yourself somewhat like, yeah, of the tree of a country trunk. Grave robbing fucks. So my tales about the AF penis will be included in my book, and probably interviews overseas too. Uh, it's ridiculous. I could debate this at length and would love it if the magistrate is able to appoint some sort of rights activist who's prepared to discuss details, because I think I have a lot to say. I'll put it up one way or another. It'll wind up either in my book, but there are certain discussions I'm prepared to have before I leave here, and I think it can be. There should be a science of bisexual health, not a religion about incest, which obviously aggresses you. Uh, that's what inbreeding does when you make it part of your ideology. Uh, would the Queen have been partial to so many invasions if or perhaps cultivate better negotiation skills if she decided maybe out of respect for all our different ethnicities, we won't say that that came from a Tower of Babel. uh, Maybe stars collided into ponds where monkeys were fucking and, you know, warped into us. And we are not inbred at all. So yeah, if you have that level of comprehension, you begin to see through it, and you begin to see how it's those of you on these messianic religious crusades, or your theory of knowledge, and ethical philosophy. It's contingent on a pro-Christian endorsement. It does make you violent and aggressive, and it does make you sense someone like me as a danger for saying I would rather defend the future of the bisexual rights movement than your feral religion. Um, there isn't a. It's actually, yeah. Growing my hair longer makes it. It antagonizes the bigots a bit more. But at least it helps me see which ones they are. And yeah, disastrously, Gary Cairns and Roger Tall, I truly submit, are the two. Neither of them are from the mainland, but they're pretty much a thematic, pathological Groundhog Day loop tribute to the enslavement of the Aborigines, and making everyone who doesn't kiss their ass second class. And I second that motion because it's class. Class action. Be sure to iron your suit. It's the law.